Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about the biggest things I've learned since quitting my corporate job just a few weeks ago. Some of this stuff has really shocked me and I hope it can be useful for you as you navigate your own journey. We're going to get deep and personal and philosophical, and I'm going to share everything that I've been thinking, feeling and observing over the last 7 to 8 weeks. I will say, it's not all positive. I've learned the hard way, so you don't have to. Okay, do you have tea in hand? Let's get going. If you're new here, I've just left the corporate world after 14 years to start again and build a brand new life, more meaning, connection, and deeper relationships. I've done a whole video on that story if you want to watch. I will link it somewhere here. Today, I'm going to take you through the top 8 things I learned since I quit my corporate job, and I wish someone had told me before I made the leap. And stick around because some of them are pretty juicy. Okay, let's get stuck in. Firstly, my heart rate has plummeted. I wear a smartwatch every day, so I have my heart rate being tracked at all times. I first got a notification 6 days after leaving that my heart rate had gone down, and I've since received that notification every week for the last 7 weeks, which is the exact period in which I've left work. Since I've quit, friends and family members have said like, oh, you have so much more lightness about you. Your skin looks good. You look really bright and fresh. And all of that is nice to hear, but of course you can't measure it. This is cold, hard data, and it's just really shocking, and I didn't know that that would happen. Okay, this one's gonna sound strange, but over the last 7 weeks, my senses have heightened and my emotions have definitely become stronger. I feel like I'm feeling more deeply. It's almost like my body has like gone, and starting to let stuff out and let stuff in, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I'm much more porous as a human. This is like deep. I'll give you a couple of examples. So I bought a diffuser for my bathroom. I put it in the bathroom in like December 2024. It's been now in there for like 11 months. It's still going. I haven't changed it. And I've thought all of that time that this diffuser just didn't have a very strong smell. Like I've never smelt this diffuser until the week after I left work. I walked into the bathroom and I suddenly smelled the diffuser for the first time. I kid you not, I've never smelt this thing before. My nose only picked it up after I'd left work. Explain that to me. I'll give you another example. I've been having memories pop into my mind from years ago that I have not thought about for a long time, like little situations with old boyfriends. Like when I'm walking down the street, it's like, oh, I remember that thing. Why did you respond in that way? Or how did you feel about that? I'm like, I have not thought about that person for a really long time, and yet here we are and they're in my mind. And I feel like my body has softened and my mind is starting to replay moments that I haven't processed properly. It feels like there's a lot of freedom in the way that information and sight, sound, smells are kind of coming in and out. And that was completely unexpected. I mentioned in my first video that I have been working for 14 years to build a savings pot that could see me through a transitional moment in life like this. And so when I left my job, I knew that I had this savings pot that was going to be running down, but I had it there to keep me safe until I'd find a new job. I thought that that would mean when I left my job, I would feel this sense of security and I would kind of continue to live my life normally. Oh, how wrong I was. The sight of that savings pot only going down day on day, week on week, with nothing coming in, has only caused me anxiety. And I have not had a day when I have felt like, oh, it's all good. Every day I'm thinking, oh, I need to be earning. I want to be completely honest with you. That is the first place my mind went to. It's how can I save money? How can I lower my expenditure? It wasn't cool and calm. Given that I've planned for this moment, I didn't expect that anxiety to switch on almost overnight. And also, just a funny note, I've been entering lots of competitions. Thank God I haven't won any of them, because otherwise I would be in Lapland, I'd be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, I would be driving a car that I don't have an up-to-date license for. Where has this come from, this need to apply for competitions? You tell me. Someone is giving me a gift up there, by not having me win any of these competitions, because I think otherwise I'd be living a very silly life with things that I neither want nor need for, and other people could really appreciate much more than me. Anyway, it is what it is. Not cool or attractive or anything like that, but just honest. Leaving your job in and of itself doesn't make you happy, and that's what I've learned. I imagine this sudden euphoria of leaving. And yes, there are moments in the daytime on a random Tuesday afternoon when I'm strolling in a park and I'm like, this is cool. But then you get home and you've still got bills to pay, and someone in your family's still ill, and there's still a friend who needs, there's still like life. You're just still you with all of your normal problems. And I think sometimes we can over idolize these big shifts in life that are gonna like monumentally change our ways of thinking when we forget that actually we're just still us in our little existences and we've just changed a bit of our environment. When the newness of a big career change or a big life happening wears off, you return to your baseline of happiness. What is your baseline? And maybe what can you do to improve your baseline before you make a big leap like this? There's actually a great Harvard study on this. It's the world's longest scientific study of happiness, and it started in 1938. One of the concepts referenced in this study is something called the happiness set point, which is almost like the baseline any individual has for their happiness. And really interestingly, it comprises of 3 different elements: genetics, life circumstances, and voluntary choices. While circumstances and choices definitely do influence happiness, this study underscored the importance of genetics in influencing someone's baseline happiness. It's not all about making big changes to our lives, but actually understanding that there's also stuff innately in us that influences how happy we feel in life. In terms of quitting my job, I've definitely felt that. I thought I would have this sudden button press of I'm lighter, creative, and passionate. Maybe those things ladder up into happiness in their own way, but I'm not overtly more happy in every minute of the day. Okay, it's busy. There's no time for anything. Completely unexpected. I thought I'd be relaxing on this very sofa, watching Lorraine, enjoying loose women, daytime TV, many cups of tea, ringing friends, FaceTimes. I can't fit everything in. I've got a to-do list that I prepare for every day. I sit down on a Sunday and do to-do. I'm very structured and I can't get through it. I literally am still, as I used to at work, putting to-do action items from Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday, moving things through the week. I get to Friday, I'm damn, that's one for Saturday or Sunday or next week. It's crazy. And I think because you're in more of a proactive mindset, there is more stuff that you could potentially be doing versus stuff that you need to be doing. The people you could be reaching out to, the LinkedIn messages you could be sending, the content you could be creating, it can just go on forever. And so there's almost no limit to the length you can make your to-do list. It's really surprised me how busy you can be without having a job or any income. Oh, this unemployment life is busy. I've talked about this one a little bit previously, but identity, torn in two. You are torn between who you were and who you are becoming. For me, that's been a pretty emotional process because I've realized that I was actually quite attached to the person I was before, and she was cool and people loved her for the job she had. And I am figuring out how to, this is heavy, but love myself and feel strongly that people love me just as me without that cool, shiny LinkedIn title. Wow, wasn't expecting that. It's tough. Who am I without a job? Who am I without an insanely busy calendar? Without a really snazzy LinkedIn header template and name badge? Who am I when I strip that all away? And I actually think this is one you can properly only process when you have left work, because the reality of the loss of that identity only really settles in after a few weeks. In terms of a tip, if it's useful, and this is a tiny piece of advice, but one thing I wish I had done is just done a little bit of thinking around what I was going to call myself career-wise once I left work. And I think just having a bit of pre-thought as to, okay, I'm leaving this big job. What is my new identity? Literally, what's the sentence? Would have been helpful. So for example, I used to be a director of marketing at a big tech company. Now I am a marketing strategist and broadcaster. Cool, full stop. We'll go with that for a few months. I'm sure it will change over time and who knows what's coming. But for the first 6 months of unemployment or the first 2 weeks of unemployment, this is what I am. And I think just having that in my head would have been useful. Okay, as you might have seen for this video already, it's emotional. Wow. There are ups and downs. Everyone will go through this in their different way, and I can only speak of my own experience, but it's been a ride. The biggest things that I've been going through are the grief of losing people I love around me every day. Loved my teams, loved my boss, loved so many people that I work with. I don't want to be that ex-girlfriend who reaches out all the time hey, how are you? Hey, I miss you. I just want to leave them to it, but that means that I have to not speak with them, and that's been sad. Grief of just reflecting on 14 years of very, very hard work and the things that I've sacrificed as a result. That's been tough as well to go through that. I felt some shame in leaving my team and almost who am I to get to follow my passions and spend time with my family and try and build a new life? I just felt like I should hide it away and I should almost be embarrassed that I have chosen this path. And so, yeah, I've had to process that. That's the negative stuff. Positively, it's fun and I'm feeling a lot of joy as well. And like those things coexist in this melting pot of emotional stuff. And it's not like one day you're sad and one day you're happy and like, oh, I feel such joy and now I feel shame. But it's like minute to minute, thinking about my old boss and thinking about my old team member and she's still going through this thing and I hope she's okay and I'll reach out. And then like, oh, I feel such freedom in my day and I'm doing this amazing creative project. And it's kind of just like that all the time bubbling. And I'm noticing week on week that those emotions are becoming less turbulent and less frequent. And so I'm definitely like cooling into this new life and calming down. But yeah, for the first 7 weeks, it's been quite emotional. Okay, I'm going to end here. And this is, I think, my biggest reflection. And it's a powerful one. That happiness does not correlate with scale. If we go back 6 months, I was living a life of scale, job title, scope, international travel, big and bold and Instagram worthy and like glossy and glamorous and from the outside looked epic, and I wasn't happy. And now I'm feeling such micro moments of happiness that has nothing to do with scale. I've had moments in the last 7 weeks watching my dad, who has incurable leukemia, at the 3rd birthday party of my niece, cutting her Paw Patrol cake with a big smile on his face as she's like having the best day ever. I'm there, I'm not traveling, I'm in the moment, I'm present. I've been blowing balloons for the last 24 hours. I've been organizing gluten-free pita bread. I've been there with my family, living it. And I'm watching my dad and my niece interact in this way. What beautiful happiness. It feels like such a powerful reflection to have about life, and I'm privileged to have experienced both aspects of it, but now to know that joy does not correlate with scale, with expense, with snazziness feels like such a gift, such a gift. Okay, I'm going to end it there. I hope some of that was useful. It's only been 7 weeks, so this is all quite fresh. I'm just sharing with you honestly how I'm feeling right now. I'm sure it will be different in a few more weeks and months. So I may come back with a part 2 on like, hey, my much more eloquent reflections on this big career shift. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. But if you enjoyed it, please let me know. Any feedback as ever. Please jump into the comments, give me feedback, thoughts, how could I improve? Massively appreciate the support and this little community we're building. So thank you so much. I hope it's a great week ahead for you, and I'll see you very soon.